Hey everybody, this is David McKeever and Richard Hundley. We're brokers with Advance One McKeever Real Estate in Stockton, California. And this is your Ask the Brokers show, episode number 4. Today's show is all about new agents. So new agents or relatively new agents, you got your license. Now what do you do? It's easy to go take those tests or the classes and the tests, but obviously those classes and tests don't prepare you how to be successful in real estate. They'll tell you what you need to know in parts, but they don't teach you fully what you need to do for success, or long-term success. So we have 3 or 4 great tips today that new agents should be doing. And Richard, I'm just going to kick it off with our first one. I personally think that you need to align, if you're coming out and you just got your test, you need to align yourself with somebody who's shown success in this business or is currently successful right this moment. So that could be a top agent in the office or a broker in the office or a higher level manager, somebody that's had success selling real estate over a long period of time. I call this having a great mentor. A mentor is somebody that's going to look and help you tailor an action plan and keep you accountable over time. And without a plan in this business, you're just going to fumble your way through it. I part of me thinks, I think that if you got hired on at a new job, you're going to have somebody training you most likely, or at least checking your work. So why not? I don't know why people aren't doing that in real estate as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're coming from more than likely a job where you had that, like you said, you came in at 9 o'clock, you got off at 5 o'clock. They even told you when you could have lunch. They told you when you come back to work. They tell you what to do for the 8 hours you're there. Now you come to a job and you come in at 8 or 9 or 10 or whenever you feel like it. Or you don't even come in at all because you're working out of the house, but you're just, it's like night and day. So you need to grab onto a mentor, teacher, somebody to show you the way through real estate, which is, difficult until you find the niches to become successful. At our office, you're looking at the 2 mentors. David and I are the mentors, and we love especially mentoring new agents because they come in with a lot of good energy, but they just don't know what to do yet. And, let's turn that energy into positive success and production. So definitely go out and get a mentor or teacher or whatever you'd like to call it, but someone to show you the way.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I think it's a strong point. It's been said you are who you hang around with, and the top 5 people you hang around with. And if you continue to if you go into the office and you're just hanging around the people that aren't doing much business, you're going to be like them. So find the people who are successful and replicate what they're doing and kind of tweak it to be your own. So find a mentor and ask them if they'll help you out. And a lot of people who've been successful want to help out and give back. So
yeah, because they were probably helped themselves. And I could go back and name whether they even knew it or not. In some cases, they were my mentor just because I followed them and watched them. I mean, our top agent way back in the day, I stood outside of his office and listened to him on the phone and learned a lot of stuff. I mean, just unbelievable how good he was. And
you learn how to communicate and all that.
That's right. And even some of the things he said shocked me. It's like, well, I couldn't say that, they might not use me. And he was bold enough to say it, and it made them want to use him more.
Wow.
So big difference. So mentor, go get one.
Yep. Second thing that new agents ought to do, and that's starting to formulate a client list or a database or sphere of influence, whatever you want to call it. Start putting together a sphere of influence list, those people that would be happy to work with you, if not work with you, but people that trust you and could refer you future business.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I tell agents, and most of you out there at our office can testify to this. I always say, hey, day one, form your database list and get it up to 25 right away.
Mm-hmm.
If you have family around the area or you've lived here quite a while, that's pretty easy. So don't stop at the 25 that I give you, keep going. But it's funny that uh, a database is made kind of for long-term and in the future business, but right at the beginning, it creates a ton of business. Most new agents get a lot of their business from their database. Why? Because it's fresh. They've
Mm-hmm.
never contacted these people about real estate. It's new. So 25, 30, 40 people that they're contacting, it's for the first time. And you'll see a lot of their business come from that. And then as you keep going and you get further into the business, when that database gets pretty large and you are staying in touch with them,
Mm-hmm.
it will start feeding you, it'll trickle you back business all the time. And that's good to get one fall in your lap every now and then, especially on maybe a little bit of a slump that you're in. So database, database, database.
Yeah, those are all excellent points. The only thing I'd like to add is, it can be easy to create a list of people. But a lot of agents will have, well, what do I send to them, or how do I communicate to them? And that's where the mentor can come in and help you. They can say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm talking to my people. This is how often I'm talking to my people. So, that's where a mentor comes into play, is sharing with you what they're doing with their database. So just to get back to point number one. All right,
Yeah.
point.
And also a couple of points we're going to get to will be things that maybe you're going to also talk to them about.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on, number 3 is, so you became an agent, you got your license, you can buy and help people buy and sell real estate. But you may not know much about what's happening in the market. So one way to do that is to study the MLS and get very familiar with how to use the MLS. Most MLSs around the country will provide some sort of local trends of what's happening in the marketplace. I know ours does here locally, where you can pull up different cities, pull up different zip codes. And I think the goal should be to study the market, figure out what's going on, see how fast homes are selling, get the average price points, get the price point per square foot. Stockton's, they have a lot of tract homes, so it's kind of easy to figure out what's being sold in a particular neighborhood. A lot of vertical markets where you get a lot of condos. It's like, if you want to be an expert in a condo association and a building, you need to go find out what's sold in that entire building over the last 6 months, and you become an expert of sales in a neighborhood or in a building. So, it's get in and start studying the market.
Yeah, now a couple of ways at the beginning, or even later if you haven't done it yet, is our MLS has orientations when you first join.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, lately that hasn't been going on, but they've been putting out a lot of videos to take its place, just like a lot of us have been doing. So watch those videos, learn how to use the MLS. David brought up my favorite tool on MLS, besides looking at homes and seeing what they sold for, are the trends. The trends where you can pull up, you're working with a client, you can pull up trends for the area you're going to work in and give them stats that'll have them thinking that market up and down, because you're giving exact stats of what's going on. And we put out that monthly video on these trends, and that's kind of why we do it, to show you what the market's doing here in Stockton, and you can do that with your clients too. So definitely learn the MLS. It's going to be your number one tool from now until 30 years into the business.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of new agents come in and study the market for 1 to 2 months, like really just dive in and you can almost know what's happening in the marketplace if you take the time to study as an experienced agent. If you really put your mind to it and study the sales and get into the data of the market, for sure.
Absolutely.
So those are the three things, at first I recommend: mentorship, database, study the market. Do you have a bonus, number 4, Richard?
Well, I do, and it's back to your mentor. Sit down with your mentor and get your schedule or your work ethic going on what to do to prospect. The number one thing that causes failure in real estate is lack of prospecting. Not lack of knowing the contract, not lack of knowing the disclosures. It's lack of prospecting and lack of clients. So make prospecting, along with your mentor, number one. You're going to go through a series of, open houses, door knocking, cold calling, social media, which has gotten huge in the past few years. But really get you a schedule going for that and make that high on your schedule a number one priority, because it's what will keep you in the business or have you out of the business.
Yeah.
That's kind of the bonus there on top of, things that your mentor can do for you, which is pretty much all of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it comes to the point where a lot of agents and realtors, this isn't their first career. So they've had other jobs, right? And you mentioned this before we were talking. They come from a place where you show up to work and somebody tells you what to do from 9 to 5. Well, all of a sudden now you're your own boss. And if you're not telling yourself what to do each and every day, then it's easy to get distracted and go do other things. So, have a mentor help you put together in a plan, and basically be disciplined enough to stick to your daily schedule. You can do simple things each and every day. And over a long period of time, you're going to have success. However, if you do it one day and then stop doing it for 3 days and you do it again, then you do it, it's about having that daily action plan and daily discipline to be successful. If you don't, then you don't have a boss telling you what to do each and every day.
That's right. Sometimes when your boss is you, it's easy to give yourself an excuse. Oh, I'd rather go into the kitchen and make a sandwich because I called 10 people and they all kind of, rejected me. Well, call 10 more, and call 10 more. The odds are that, what are the numbers, David? You have to call 100 to get 2 or 3 leads. I mean, you have to door knock
40. A good agent it's a 40-to-1 ratio. So for every 40 people you talk to, roughly, you'll have 1 closed sale over time.
Yeah, so 2.5 possible leads out of 100. So don't quit at 10. You're not there yet. You got a long way to go. But and a lot of you out there that know me know that my saying is basically put in the numbers, know how to close equals success. I live by that one. That's what you have to do. And believe me, it will work. So hopefully new agents, or even kind of new agents, or even agents that didn't do some of these things, go back and do them. It's kind of almost a start over for some people right now with what's happening, and the doors are opening. So yay, let's get out there and these things and put them into practice and be successful.
That's right. Well, hey guys, that concludes our show today. If you think we missed anything, if there's some tips that you think we missed, comment down below. Let us know what you think. Obviously, we can't cover everything, but those are 4 great tips for you. And if you like this content, please hit subscribe down below, and we'd love to connect with you guys for sure. So thank you everybody for watching this Ask the Broker show. We shall see you next week. Take care.